you can't use your mind to surrender your will to creation's natural order. You can't use your mind to surrender your will to what we call God. When you're in your mind, you're actually living in separation, living in your mind that is in control or perceived illusion of control over your vessel, over our vessel. And instead of actually living in the aliveness of the now moment of whatever is naturally arising in any suppressed emotion, energy, and how that's related to your biological design as a man or a woman, all of it needs to be sensed, seen, felt into, and merged. And when we live through this now moment and merge with all of those energies, suppressed emotions, relating it to biological natural order, we can then live through the will of creation to be forged. But all throughout my spiritual mentorship career, the last 11 years, I would actually sell and share offerings and offerings of let go, let God, but they were all mental. I actually see this so clearly now. All of them were in the mind, sharing ideas and principles of let go, let God. But when it lives in the mind and I share it from my mind, I'm sharing it from my conditioning, which is living in separation with natural order, because I wasn't embodied in natural order and living through creation's will now, like in the now moment. As I only begin to walk the path of true surrendering your will to live and build and cultivate and only live in 100% security of the now moment related to my biology. As I participate and as I merge, it's not passive, it's not going with the flow in my conditioning. I'm actively sensing into any suppressed emotion related to my biology as a man, and where I'm in weakness, victimhood, where I'm not self-leading, where I'm not in my role creating safety for my wife and taking responsibility for the container I create within myself. My wife responds to that. I wasn't aware and embodied in all of this, of course, throughout my entire life, and even as a spiritual mentor the last 11 years. That's why I had to take a sabbatical to really see myself, that I was how could I share intelligence of let go, let God, again, not God in a religious context, but what it really is, which is surrender to how we're designed in our innate design as men and women, biologically, energetically at the core. When we embody our design, harmony is already naturally co-created. Like the Garden of Eden already is co-created through us as we build and cultivate and live through that interdependency with creation's will first and foremost, like live only through the now moment of creation to be forged. And then that interdependency with creation's will creates interdependency in union. That interdependency in union creates interdependency in community in the planet. For 11 years, I used my own will, selling concepts of pineal gland activations, somatic meditations, using my voice to guide you into somatic surrender. I'll expand on this in a minute. Geometry meditations, moving your pineal gland, your chakras, and the energy to control and manipulate and manifest your own reality. Intention practices, of course, thinking that the mind with mentalism and hermeticism and universal laws is all powerful. And here's the flaw and huge fallacy and illusion of all of those teachings, even the mathematics, the quantum geometries, like all of it is not necessary, and frankly, it's a distortion. Here's why. When you're in your mind, my mind was already, our minds are limited because we're already in the conditioning. That's why we think we want to get out. We want to be healed. We want to be whole. We want to return to God, return to creation. We want to return to natural order. There's an innate sense, obviously, in humanity to quote unquote ascend. I'll do another video on that. The ascension's an illusion. There's only like distortion, illusion, and reality of natural order. That's it. But for me, sharing all those mentalized concepts that actually start from the conditioned mind has no idea what truth and reality is because it doesn't embody it. It doesn't embody the will of creation. It's embodying its own will. It's living in its own will and desire and thinking and control. It is our conditioned minds have hijacked our vessel. So do you think a mind that's in a perceived level 5 knows what a level 10 is? It has no idea. Every perception we have from the conditioned mind is a concept. It's an idea, because as you embody it, you realize everything in the mind is the illusion. Like it's literally a complete smoke and mirrors, because the mind has been programmed or deprogrammed to control the vessel versus actually surrendering to the natural order of life that would co-create harmony all over the planet in our species, and that's obvious. Like, our minds have created the disease world of trauma and the conditioning in the world. The mind, living in separation with how we're innately designed, covered the earth in concrete, created the environmental destruction, has caused the sixth mass extinction and continued extinctions and destruction of many civilizations all throughout time and history. The mind is the one that is actually living in separation, and I had to see that I was trying to teach concepts of let go, let God, but even the concepts, the pineal gland activations, the somatic meditations with my voice, as soon as you're in your mind, even in one of my meditations or any geometry meditation that you can feel or think to, that everyone is selling all over the world, everyone is sharing and thinks that the mind is all powerful, you're already starting from the limitation of conditioning. The mind has no idea what you perceive level 10 is. It's all a concept because it actually hasn't embodied the will of creation. You're trying to extract from the will of creation. You're trying to extract from the quantum field, from life force, an idea to benefit you, but you're still rampaging the world with your will. And the proof for me was in all of my work. In the background, like in the foreground, I'd sell these truths of like somatic heart, living immersion, heart breath meditations. I'm an embodied mentor. I know truth. I know these universal laws. Control your reality. I was a man in his late 40s at the time. Late 30s, mid 30s to 40s. I had no marriage. I had no healthy marriage at the time. I had no children. I still have no children. I am not embodied as a man in natural order. I have not created safety for my environment and the women I was with, and for my wife right now. I still, up until now, like only now am I really sensitive to what that is. My wife felt exceptionally unsafe around me as an embodied woman, as she, Amanda Lee, is surrendered to creation's natural order. She mirrors the disorder in me. That's what a surrendered woman does. She is by design, designed by creation to be a reflection, to co-create harmony without the mind in the way. We don't need to communicate. Her reflection shows me where I am or where I'm not. And then I take self-leadership and ownership and responsibility and step into the embodiment that is required. And as I merge with that truth, there's no more disruption in time. And I'm here humbly now just sensing into this. As I'm embodied in leadership, she merely reflects my self-leadership. I don't lead her. She reflects my self-leadership and multiplies it. That's what women do. But throughout my mentorship career, I would sell these programs of let go, let God, somatic surrender, immerse yourself in the living intelligence of creation. No solid relationship. I was the toxic one in my relationship. I was emotionally and physically abusive. I was reactive to my wife. I didn't take ownership and responsibility for myself and the pains I caused her over and over and over again for 6 years. I was the one not in natural order, and she was reflecting my disorder. I'd always want her to meet me in the middle in my mind, instead of, it took me a long time to actually sense into the truth that there is an energy and life force that's already co-creating between us. And I even wanted to use my will to have her, like, force her to meet me in the middle. And you can't force a surrendered woman to meet you in the middle because she's already surrendered in natural order. She's there reflecting to you. As a man, we have to step into order, duty, and responsibility on our planet and as a species. And then we, through that embodiment, the women through that embodiment reflect our peace, our grounding, our harmony, our structure within ourselves. And then it's that joint interdependent life force energy between us that then co-creates harmony in family, community, and the earth. That's it. No will or conditioned mind of our own. And if I'm selling you meditations that use your mind, as soon as you listen to that track, like I just said earlier, you're in your mind in separation with what's living in front of you. Can you see it? You're in your mind in separation. You actually can't even sense into or feel the suppressed emotions that were coming up because you immediately changed it. What was coming up to transform you as a man, the victimhood, the shame, the guilt, the defensiveness, like all these things of deflection where a man's not in his role, taking ownership and responsibility for the environment he creates. A man cannot act like a victim to his wife who's actually sharing her pain when she's sharing her pain because the man caused it because of his lack of embodiment. That's the order of things. And I didn't sense into this all this time. So in the background, I'm acting deflective, defensive, acting like a victim. But then on my calls, I'm teaching men about embodiment. And meanwhile, I'm telling everyone to dive into these somatic meditations, use their mind. But my conditioning was still all over the place. My will was the one corrupting everything. My will, as soon as I'm in my mind, I'm separate from the living intelligence of the exchange and offering that life force and creation is moving through my wife. The emotions that are coming up that are essentially just returning to sender. They're there return to sender because I caused her pain from the beginning because of my lack of position, my lack of embodiment, my lack of me holding my role of duty and responsibility to create safety in my environment through my embodiment. I was the one. Men are the ones that are disembodied. Now, I'm not saying women are not disembodied, but women are disembodied, or rather in their own condition and trauma condition, because the men created the systems and the disembodied systems and structures in the world that caused all the trauma to begin with. Women didn't create the trauma in the world. Women didn't separate the land into imaginary countries. Women didn't turn the 13-month calendar, the 13-moon calendar into 12. That's false. Women didn't corrupt our environment. Women didn't create the money systems that separate us from true interdependence. Disembodied, disassociated men did. Disassociated from the living intelligence of creation in the now moment. We're using our minds to control our reality. And my mind was in my programs, in my one-to-one coaching, teaching clients to control their own reality, meanwhile, which means that I'm actually sharing my own separation with you. Because I'm in separation with this. Alive, now moment, suppressed emotions, sense into the energy, also in union and interdependency, related to my biology as a man, related to my woman. That interdependency is needed for us to see ourselves, for women to see where they're suppressed, for men to see where they're weak and acting like a victim and not leading themselves to create that safe and structured environment for the whole of humanity. I'm trying to use my will that keeps me in my mind, not only my relationship, but in my work, my spiritual mentorship work, my meditations to you. And I'm keeping you in your mind while you're listening to my meditation track. And literally, like, as soon as you listen to the track and you have to listen to it over and over and over again, you're in your mind. I just disassociated you. I just made you dissociate from what is actually like the suppressed emotion, victimhood, the suppression as a woman. Like, I'm actually like, you just pacified that. You just changed like life intelligence. You tried to change it yourself. But here's the thing, that life force that's arising in you, like it did in me, it would keep coming up to be seen. Decades of this work in spiritual work and mentorship, 11 years in spiritual mentorship, decades of work and diving into all these somatic pineal gland activations, geometry meditations, all of them, from the most popular teachers and mathematicians, physicists, scientists, and healers. All of it dissociated me from the now moment of what was actually arising. It immediately removed me from what actually was living. And what was living between me and my wife, what is living within me for me to meet within myself, that's already there to transform me. It's already there arising. I need to meet it somatically, energetically, merge with it, surrender into it, feel it fully in my body. Let that cycle of that victimhood, the weakness, the suppression, not knowing my role as a man, that disembodiment, the pain and suffering I caused my wife, like for me to see myself. And it's that healing from dissociation from self. It's the not just awareness, but the embodiment of the known that then reprograms me into responsibility and duty. It built the backbone without a coach, without a mentor, without therapy. I've paid tens of thousands of dollars for coaches and therapy in the past. None of them worked. There's only one thing that actually works. To return us to natural order, we have to meet the intelligence of nature. Like here, right now, suppressed emotions arising naturally. In relationship to my biology of the man, that's important too. You can't just arise with the emotions, but you're still in the condition of the world and you don't know your position as a man or woman. Position your innate design. That innate biological design is the interlocking interdependence bioenergetically that actually co-creates harmony in relationship and harmony with the land and harmony with our planet, harmony with each other, we're not in harmony in our minds talking to each other. That's in separation with natural order. We can't control the order. The order we've already tried to create with the earth is not order. Those are systems of disorder that we're trying to control everything in mentalized boxes and labels. Anxious attachment, these kinds of attachment styles, narcissism, or this kind of relationship, codependency, independency, all of it is diseased. Do you think we were designed to be independent on this planet? Independent relationships, sovereign love? Can you see the distortion and separation in that? We're not designed to be independent. I tried to make my interdependent wife surrender to creation's natural order. I tried to force her to be independent. And as a woman of creation surrendered to order, natural order, she can't budge. She has no will of her own. She's like, I'm in order. You're the one out of order. Women are rising in natural order now to be the reflection for men. So we actually shift and move into reality. There's no ascension. Even the perception of ascension is coming from the lens of separation, from the conditioned mind, thinking of a concept, again, of a level 10, that there are these levels of consciousness, when there's only the distortion of the mind that actually is in its own illusions, controlling your vessel, versus discarding it completely, seeing that that's an illusion, and the innate intelligence of what is living emotionally related to your biology as a man in this now moment. That life force, that tension, that the shame, the guilt, the suppression, that is coming up to be met, and it will transform you as you move through it and merge with it as one. There's the unity, one. And I never saw this myself until now. All the distorted teachings, everything I taught before was invalid. My will was all over the place. I'm trying to use my will and teaching you to use your will, to surrender your will to God, to surrender your will to creation. We can't create order in this world. We'll just create mentalized boxes and systems of disorder compared to the natural order that is co-created when we merge with the intelligence of now. But now I had to surrender my will. I had to let go of my identity. Every piece of scaffolding had to crumble and fall down to the earth. Every piece of illusionary identity, dissociated from who I am as a man, my role as a husband, my role as a future father, the safety, not the provision just monetarily, but actually the interdependency that's needed so I don't need to protect my wife anymore, the interdependent union. Like that level of protection is patriarchal. There's no protection needed when you're interdependent and locked in and embodied in the will of creation. Creation creates order. Natural order. Dissolving all of that scaffolding of all of my illusions demolished me, my ego, demolished my identity. Every idea of my false self-image had to be seen. The more you surrender onto this path, it will show you the mirror of where you're in separation with the now moment related to your biological design. That's it. It'll smack you in the face and hit you silly if you keep fighting it. And I fought it. I fought it hard. I was like, oh, no, I'm still going to use my will to sell this program. I'm going to write my own sales page to how this should be sold because I think I know better than the will of creation. Creation's like, yeah, good luck with that. You're going to lose a shitload of cash. You're going to lose everything, and everything's going to crumble, and people are going to start to see the holes. Because if you're starting to speak about truth, and innately, whether people are conscious of it or not, they can sense into a ripple, of course, as I'm sure you felt in my old stuff, of like, there's something there that's off. There's something about his embodiment that's off. There's something about the way he's teaching it, whether they know it or not, is off. There's something that is not grounded. There's something that is not true. There's something that is not fluid. There's something that is not safe. There's something about him that's not really a man. And that came up in my containers, in my work. Creation had to show me my disembodiment, and I acted like a victim to it, wanting to hold on and launch another program, and that one would crumble too. It showed it obviously in the reflection of marriage, my wife's reflection. She started to degrade, not because of weakness, because she's upholding order. She rises, yes, when I rise in natural order myself, then she'll feel and reflect the safety, grounding, provision within myself and self-leadership in myself. That's natural order. A woman of natural order is not weak. My wife is the strongest woman I know. She's protected order. natural order by not, she can't move or budge from natural order. She will always be a mirror for order. She'll show you just through her embodiment, show me, she showed me, creation's will through her had to show me where I'm disembodied, where I'm the one out of alignment, where I'm the one out of order, where I'm the one that's not centered, where I'm the one that's not leading, where I'm the one that's not structured, where I'm the one that's not safe, where I'm the one that's not taking responsibility. Then I felt into the order within myself that as I embody those now, then she reflects all that order with me. Natural order is co-created. Can you see it? I kicked and screamed all along the way, to the point where, frankly, like I shared in my previous video, once you follow this path of order, you see the illusions of every condition, move, and door you tried to open and go through yourself, and you can't go through those doors anymore. I can't launch a disembodied program. I can't write a BS sales page that's disembodied. I can't share truth ahead of my embodiment. I can't help men when I'm not embodied yet. So all the money, honestly, sincerely, like we ran out of money, and we're literally homeless now. But I'm not acting like a victim of it anymore. Now I see the intelligence of it. Our way out is my embodiment right here, right now. My way out is actually just literally being transparent, embodied where I am, not moving beyond my embodiment, not sharing beyond where I am, living in the now moment, surrendered to creation's will. Can you see it? Beyond my mind's self-image and control. And then as I merge and unify with what is living, natural, and true and transparent within me, creation, consciousness sees itself through me to create order. Consciousness, creation can't see you. Like God in the Bible, when Eve picked the apple, and God said to Adam, again, we're not religious, there's a distortion of truth there, but as a parable, God said to Adam, where are you, Adam? Because Adam was in his mind. Adam, like when I'm in my mind, I'm controlling the vessel. Consciousness can't see me. It's like a little virus inside of the program. Consciousness can't see me. It's a virus inside of the program. It separates us from the natural innate programming, the original programming. We're separate. So when I'm in my mind, I'm in separation. To merge with the will of creation is to merge and unify completely, wholly, and fully. And my security is only in the now moment of creation. No will, no choice. Only merging and participating actively, it's not passive, fully with any suppressed emotion as they still continue to come up, any deficit within myself, merging with the truth and transparency. Like right now, it's not only a deficit of not where I want to move, but embody with transparency where I am. I don't make the choice of where to move. It's this embodiment that co-creates the next one, because consciousness sees itself through me and my wife. Then how do I heal my marriage? Because I have degraded it over 6 years. Now the reflection, my wife will reflect this embodiment within me, and now order is made. She's already surrendered into natural order. Now as I step into natural order, order is made. Order is co-created. I don't need to think or change anything or fix anything. Life is moving through me as a vessel, clearly, succinctly. Harmony is co-created. Where there was disorder, order will be made. Where I created disorder because of my disease and separation, it will be cleaned up, but not how I thought it was. It has been cleaned up organically in ways beyond my imagination. Things are already moving in a direction that I had no idea going, but totally, they don't just make sense in the mind, it feels true. There's order to be made. I didn't even know last year that this was the truth that I'd be sharing. I was sharing a fragment of truth. I was sharing a mirage and like selling you a puzzle with a bunch of puzzle pieces missing, and everyone's like, yeah, that's the thing, but the image isn't fully there. It's missing a ton of puzzle pieces. And even then, the image that you think it is not it, because I was never there. So everything I shared and everything every spiritual teacher shares from their will, using your mind, is in distortion to truth. None of it is true. All of it is invalid. Only when we live and one is embodied in the natural intelligence of the now moment related to their biological design are they a true mirror for embodied truth. The joke is 3 years ago I even sold a program called Embodied Truth when I wasn't even close. I was still in distortion. It's crazy. I read back the sales page. I'm like, oh, right now there's nothing to sell. My offering is this reflection. If anyone wants to offer me anything in return, so be it. But my offering is the mirror, is my embodiment. I don't need to teach. This is the reflection. What do you see within you? When I started to see myself, I ran. Oh, I ran. I pushed, I screamed, I kicked, I degraded my wife. I punished her. I acted like the victim to creation being like, we're here to unify together. Because this is the unity. In the now moment is the unity. That's the eternal now, but it's not what we think. It's not the concepts of spirituality. All of those concepts, I'll do another video on that. All of those spiritual teachings and concepts come from separation. Everyone, almost everyone. They're coming from a concept in the mind, and they're not truth because they're not embodied, so they'll never get you anywhere. I finally see that reality now myself, and how using my mind to control my reality, good luck. It just fragments, fractalizes, creates this independence in society that perpetuates the conditioning, and no one even sees it. These spiritual teachers don't even see that using your mind to control your reality creates independence, but not connected to the whole, because only the whole, only the field itself can co-create harmony with us as a vessel, because we are vessels of creation. We were never meant to control these bodies. Look what it does to the planet. Even your manifestations, feel into the truth of that. You have no idea what is better for you and humanity. No idea, because we're still in the conditioned consciousness, manifesting an idea of what we think the better reality is. You're in a ditch. You're in a hole 100 feet in the ground, looking up at the sky, thinking you know what the sky and everything around looks like. Until we embody truth in natural biological order, everything shared is a fragmented illusion. To be continued. Sending love.